Before we get to our next tasting, we wanted to share that July is Sarcoma Awareness Month.
My son Jason was diagnosed with osteosarcoma at the age of 7, and after about a year of fighting, he passed away September 2016. He did get to have his wish fulfilled through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which was to become a YouTube star. The link to that video is down below. He got to go out to California and meet some of his favorite YouTubers. That's part of the reason why we started this channel, as a little nod to Jason.
So this month, we'll be promoting a GoFundMe charity in Jason's honor. Any donation would be greatly appreciated.
Sarcomas account for very few adult cancers, but they're about 20% of pediatric cancers. And currently there's only about a 50% survival rate. So obviously funding and research is very much needed.
Again, any donation is greatly appreciated, and we appreciate your support.
Now, on to the whiskeys.
Hi everyone, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin, and welcome to Exploring Whiskeys, where we will be sampling whiskeys from all around the world.
Today we're going to take another sample from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. We're going to be sampling the Colonel Taylor Straight Rye. Ryes, in my opinion, have kind of made a resurgence, so to speak. I feel like for the most part, people would keep a bottle of rye on the shelf to make a Manhattan or more for cocktail purposes. But I'm finding more and more people, and even more restaurants and bars, that are you're seeing people order just a glass of rye, straight or on the rocks.
One of the things we wanted to point out, and this is the only bottle that we had that included this, all the E.H. Taylor line come in a cardboard sleeve. Everything that I've looked into this, no real reason to do this. It's mainly a marketing ploy. It's just something that they do to make themselves look different. And honestly, when you see that sitting on the shelf, it looks different.
It draws your eye to it.
So all of the E.H. Taylor line, other than the barrel proof, is bottled in bond. This is a straight rye whiskey that is bottled in bond. So it's 4 years old. It's bottled at 100 proof. It's in a single season distilled. It's monitored by the federal government, etc., etc. We've done this a couple times now. But this is another one that is bottled in bond and goes back to the original, was it OFC distilleries that Taylor actually owned back in the day.
The mash bill on this one, though, it's all rye and barley.
Yes,
no
this
corn.
Is one of the unique mash bills for Buffalo Trace. Almost everything has corn. A lot of their whiskeys, mostly bourbons, have wheat. This has neither of those. No corn, no wheat, just rye and barley. This is also the very first time we've done a rye on this channel.
Let's get a pour.
Let's get her. Oh. It always sounds better when it's fuller. Ryes are not necessarily my favorite type of whiskey to be sampling. I've had bad experiences.
I always find ryes spicier. Not necessarily, not hot, but it's just
still sweet.
Yeah.
I was honestly not expecting it to smell that sweet.
Pretty soft to the nose. No real burn, as we've said in previous episodes.
All right.
Yeah, it's good. It's very tasty, especially for rye, but it's not as smooth as the small batch and the single barrel.
No. I'm going to tap and say it's not bad though. There's way more spices, the cooking spices, that what rye is known for. There is a lot of that. There's also a pretty sweet note sitting there.
Yeah.
That's actually that's not bad.
Mm-mm. I think initially you get that sweet note, but as it kind of makes its way down, then you start to pick up almost like that pepper, that peppery spice.
There's a pepper, there's a black licorice,
it's a long finish too.
It's sitting there.
It's
Yeah, I wonder. Let's see. Let's check that out. Yeah, there's a pretty solid oil sitting there. So it's gonna coat the mouth just a touch, and kind of sit up there.
But it's I think ryes. Like I said, they're making a resurgence, but I think it's an acquired taste for some people, Kevin included.
But that's not bad. And now I also see, ooh, there's a tea. I just got tea, real strong, like a tea leaf type flavor, black tea. I could see why people like that in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
That spice, almost like a hot toddy type vibe to it.
But that's a good bottle.
That
Might convert you to a rye lover.
That's not a bad rye. I might, and I have been saying that I really want to try to expand out of the bourbons, the whiskeys, the scotches, all the other stuff. This is the one thing that I've honestly tried to avoid for the most part. So I do want to try to experiment, which is the main reason why I was like, if we're going to do all the E.H. Taylors, let's do all the E.H. Taylors. And pleasantly surprised. Really get that black tea taste really strong now.
Yeah. From an MSRP standpoint, I think I got this bottle I paid I think about $80 for it.
Yep, I think that's what the MSRP is, and I don't think it fluctuates all that much. Mm-mm. I assume ryes do the same thing with the allocations. I don't. Again, I haven't shopped for ryes, so I don't know the answer to that necessarily, but. I do think that they have the same, Buffalo Trace allocation schedule and things like that. But $80 is probably a pretty good price for that.
Yeah,
that is surprisingly sweet.
Might have a convert after all. Well, if you enjoyed learning about the ryes, and learning about various other whiskeys, hit that like button.
And while you're down there, if you could also hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, that will let you know every time that we post a new video. Thanks very much for watching, and cheers.